And here we are again for another edition of Trey's Chow Down Live. And in the studio, I got Andrew, Chef Andrew.
Hey, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Is it? Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, Chef Andrew. I could call him a lot of things. We're just going to call him Chef Andrew. Hey, how do you say your last name correctly?
Dilda.
Dilda. Okay. Yeah. I want to make sure. Okay. We had a big morning this morning. We'll do hot topics first. We had a big morning. We had our ABC Best Breakfast Special. If you have not seen our Best Breakfast Special, go to TreyChowdown.com. And it'll be right there, the best breakfast in North Texas. We got 20 restaurants starting all the way up McKinney, going all the way out to Willow Park, Texas. So check them out. 20 of those. We had a big special on ABC this morning. It worked out great. We had 7 people on the plaza. We took over Victory Plaza for about 2 hours. It was fun.
Jeez.
And you said you like snooze anyway.
Yeah, man, all those pancakes. You get some? You get some of it? Did they have those peach pancakes out there, man?
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah. Well, they had this one pancake, this Nana. It's a seasonal deal. And they make all their marshmallows in-house, but the marshmallows literally are about 3 inches tall and about 2 inches wide, big squares.
So it was like a giant s'more on top.
Like a giant s'more, and then they charcoal it. Yeah, well, they're right there. Everything's made in house, fresh to order. And we had Maple Leaf from Dallas out there.
Okay.
We had Old South Pancake House with their German pancake.
Yeah.
We had Grady Spears with his new he's doing breakfast now, Cowboy Breakfast.
Okay.
It was chicken fried steak and eggs with cheddar cheese biscuits.
Okay.
Oh, it was delicious. And we had Texas Spice, and they had a millionaire's type bacon. And it was terrible, delicious. And we also had, we had taco heads.
Okay.
Yeah, Sarah taco heads. It was fantastic. It was really delicious. So that takes us into this next thing. Today is National Taco Day. And on TreyChapman.com, again, we have the best tacos in North Texas. Go there, and it's the very first article that's going to come up. You just go to we have a big button that says Chow Blogs. Hit that button, and that's going to come up and show you the best tacos. And, of course, mine, we talked about this a while ago.
Yeah.
Revolver.
You gotta go see Gino, man. You gotta get that octopus taco. That's where it's at.
Yeah. They won best taco again. They won my best taco 3 years in a row.
Yeah. I mean, it's hands down one of the best in Dallas.
Yeah. I had one of the best in DFW. In North Texas, man. I mean, his grandmother or mother that works there?
Both.
Both.
It's a family deal.
So they both work there?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you'll see him there making the tortillas and everything by hand, and Gino's back there working the grill and doing his pastor and whatever's going on.
I see him there's some big oven they use for cooking. It's like an old archaic looking big oven. His mom gets the thing and shoves it in. That's crazy looking.
Yeah, it's in the back, I think, right?
Yeah.
And
I
can't remember what he calls his back room, but yeah.
I mean, you can't get more authentic than that place.
No.
If you have not been to Revolver Taco, you got to check it out. And also, this week, my dad was very interested, and he shoved this article in front of me. And if you want to know about it, and I'm sure a lot of you people understand this and know about this, but they came out with a 10-year study that processed deli meats, cause cancer. They had, what was the ingredient? Caramel?
It was the caramel color like in Coca-Cola or like Pepsi or whatever. That's
what's causing the major cancer. They attribute 14,500 deaths a year to processed deli meats, not the good stuff, but the processed deli meats, like you and I talked about it. And you made a good point. You said that people get caught up in their daily life, and
it's just a convenience factor. Yeah. Those cheaper grades of deli meat, it's just a convenience factor. Or you're trying to this is $1.99 for a half pound of this. I'm going to take this over paying $7.99.
You know what I've noticed? Those packages for the cheap, they get smaller and smaller and it's like smaller.
They get you like by the half ounce, like the quarter ounce, and it slowly goes down. And
like a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And so 14,500 deaths were attributed just to the processed meats, but then 57,700 deaths were strokes, deaths, and cancer were contributed to 57,000. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And they're putting them in a whole different group. But if you want to look it up, you can look it up. It's just look up deli meats cancer. And now we're going to get on with Chef Andrew.
All right.
Man, thanks for coming in so much today. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Man, you've been around Fort Worth. You've been around the cooking scene a long time.
Since high school, man.
Since high school. So you're from California.
Yes, sir.
What part of California? Northern?
Northern California, just South Bay area. I got into this. We always joke, I grew up in the worst part of the world for food because I was only about an hour and a half south of Sonoma and Napa, and
Yeah.
My parents loved the wine country to go up there just because it was so beautiful, and that's where they always wanted to retire. But so they take me up there to Sonoma, Napa, and just I remember I have memories of eating blue cheese on the front lawn of Sonoma Courthouse.
Yeah, real blue cheese.
Real blue cheese like that. Yeah. Point Reyes before Point Reyes became Point Reyes, you know? And so I just grew a passion for it there. And it's the same thing with protein, with even to what I'm doing now is with Fort Supply and being centric and really taking care of the animals and focusing on herd management and all that stuff. But it was really my whole passion for cooking came out of growing out of Northern California. And then when I came to Texas.
What age were you when you came to Texas?
I'm sorry?
What age were you when you came to Texas? 13. So I lived in Marin for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got to see all that out there, and the food is totally different.
Totally different philosophy on food.
That's okay though. It's a great philosophy.
Well, it is.
And bread too.
Well, yeah. Well, you got to look at it. It's a different philosophy because it's two different climates, and B, you have two different qualities of land. Right. Over there, you can do ag as far as farming vegetables, but here in Texas, we're more centric for pasture grazing. We're more for animals. Right. Raising.
Exactly.
Ranching.
All ranching, any type of farm animals, whether it be cows, pigs, whatever. Yeah.
So that's where we more rely into that here. So it's kind of cool to see both sides of that. And now when we moved here to Texas, I moved to Saginaw, Blue Mountain, North Fort Worth area.
Yeah, sure. So, which was really at that time was really North Fort Worth.
Yeah, it was really still North Fort Worth. Yeah, Blue Mountain was one stoplight and a hope and a prayer as you went through.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're downwind from the Van Zant feedlot right there.
That's right. And the big grain elevators are still there.
Yeah. That's where Doughboys. Yeah. Soft crust Doughboys.
That's right.
I can't think of it.
Yeah, they had a song too.
It was a group actually. Yeah. It was an old bluegrass group. Yeah.
Yeah. But the Soft crust Doughboys, and they had a song on TV or radio and TV for one of the banks in town or something. Yeah. It was good. It was good. So when did you find your love for cooking? I always like this story.
It's a great question because this is the story. It's not a question. Not a story I always tell. So my dad was in the service. That's why we're in California, and that's why we came here. Okay. He was in the Navy. He was always on deployment, and not always, but he was on deployment a lot. Sure. My mom worked, and my brother and I would take care of each other. Typical 80s, 90s kids. We're latchkey kids, right? Right. So I would always end up watching PBS, and it was always Great Chefs of the World.
Different back then.
It was it was like that documentary where they're going to different kitchens around the world, like Paris, France, and all this. Right. The one episode I remember, I think it was like 86, maybe 87. They showed this guy making an Eggs Benedict. Now today we think, okay, Eggs Benedict, whatever, everybody can do it. Like Paula Deen's making 18 different versions, and Rachel Ray's doing the same thing, right? It was just like this mind-blowing experience. Like they're taking these English muffins, and it was still like the English muffins out of the package too. Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I watched this episode, watched it, studied it. I think I even remember writing down the recipe for all this, right? Right. As a kid.
Oh, you wrote a recipe?
I wrote it down, like how to do this and step by step.
Yeah, because there was no internet.
No, you had to. You had to. If you missed that episode or you didn't put the VHS in, you were not going to remember it, right?
With the big tape.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Yeah. Like this big,
Just push it down.
And hope the heck it stuck that time. It wasn't broken or your brother didn't put peanut butter and jelly in it, So I remember watching it, and I think it was like Mother's Day. It had to be something like that. And my dad was back, and I was like, my brother and I got up early, and I made my mom get like the ham and the English muffins. And for some reason, we always had English muffins in the house, and we had some ham, and there was eggs too. And I was like, I can do this. And I remember, and my dad had this thing that, you put in the microwave to poach the eggs. So we poached the eggs. I got it all right. It looked right. We presented it, brought it up there. The kicker was, I thought hollandaise was yellow mustard.
No.
So you covered it with yellow mustard.
Oh my God. That's funny. That's a great story.
Did
anybody eat it to make you feel good?
Oh yeah, my parents ate it, but then there's like two, like when your kids cook for you and you take like that half bite and it's like, oh, this is so great. I'm full. So
that's a great story.
Yeah. And so when I very rarely get a chance to tell that story, but that was when I first decided I wanted to cook. And I just remember watching it, and I remember being like maybe 10 or 11. My dad asked me what I wanted to be. You know, we grew up on a military base. We're next to NASA. It's like, well, you don't want to be an engineer. You don't want to do. We're in the valley, the Silicon Valley. You don't want to do tech. You want to do programming. No. I want to be a chef. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna teach you how to code, how to program, and all that. And I learned how to do that, and learned all the engineering and how to draft and all that stuff. But I still found the passion for cooking. And then when I started graduating high school, looking at the end, what I'm going to do. And, you know, had my car, needed to restore it. It's an old VW. Needed to find a job. Started busting tables on Eagle Mountain Lake at, Harbor One.
Harbor One.
You remember Harbor One back in the day?
Yeah.
Busting tables. And it was Mother's Day again it was Mother's Day because they were doing the buffet.
Okay.
And one of the prep cooks called out. The chef and I were close. It's like, hey, Andrew, come back in the kitchen, help me prep. And I was like, man, this is where I want to be. Even though I was cutting watermelon and holding the knife really kind of crazy like. And like, I was probably the slowest guy in the kitchen, but they were still like, all right, cool.
But you loved it.
I loved it, man. I knew this was because it was, you know, everything Bourdain says about being in a pirate ship and the brotherhood and the camaraderie of that. Yeah. This is what I wanted. This is where I wanted to be. And I never wanted to go back in the front of the house, never wanted to bust another table. It's like, man, I'll bust dishes. I'll cut all this. Just stay in the back of the house.
Yeah.
One thing led to another and it didn't work out there. So that's when I ended up at the Petroleum Club and just hanging out there and finally dishwasher prep cook there. And the rest is history. Ended up at Rayada.
Yeah. Now, did you go to any kind of culinary school or was it all self-taught?
I had an opportunity. Thank God to Brian Owen Jack for vouching for me and got me a couple scholarships, but it just wasn't in the cards for me to go up to New England Culinary Institute. And I just self-taught, man.
Yeah, that's good. So, and you went to work for Rayada downtown. At that time, Al McAuliffe was more involved in the operations.
Yes.
Right. And how long were you at Rayada? What'd you do? The first time you were at Rayada, what'd you do?
I started out when I was 16. First position was doing salads.
You could work at 16 back then. Can you even work in the kitchen now at 16?
Yeah. You just got to, I mean, you just can't do the 45 hours I was doing. So probably legally, they probably couldn't do it either back then, but it was a very, you can work in the kitchen. It's just very limited. Yeah. It's mainly like prep cook type stuff.
20 hours, something I think. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's something very, very, very limited. But then did that for a year and a half till I graduated, came up in graduation. Great experience. I was even, lining up externships and everything after that, and then worked at a couple of restaurants down in Fort Worth after I left Rayada, and then went to Lucille's for a hot minute.
A lot of people gone to Lucille's.
Yeah. Steve Mitchell.
Yeah.
He was my chef when I was there.
Oh, cool.
And then left there, went and worked at Festivities. That's where I met the mother of my daughters.
Oh, cool.
So spent about a year there and then ended up at Central Market for a long time.
Okay, so I didn't know about this. I didn't know about Central Market. So what did you do at Central Market? What was
I was a sous chef there. I ran me and one other guy for a while towards the end. We're the only two running it. We had a couple of chefs come in and out. The last time I was there before we opened up the woodshed,
right.
It was myself and Chris Pope. He's not with us anymore, but he was. Yeah. It was he and I running that.
You can get a lot of great products when you're cooking for Central Market.
You can, and
fresh.
That was the fun. That was the fun. That was part of the hustle, man. Yeah. They were always wondering how we were killing it on food costs because I was wheeling and dealing with the market guys. All right, cool. You're over on this. Give me a great deal on this, and I'll put it out here in product placement and help you move this.
Yeah.
I was every day wake up, and it was like I was stockbroker. I'd go and hit every department. And they saw me coming, and they're like, "Oh crap, Andrew's coming to try to get the best deal on this, and what extra we got." And they have this whole shelf dedicated to Andrew's coming by type deal.
That's a good story too, but it worked, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had the uppers coming down for us, and they were just like, they came in. You guys can't be running these good at numbers. Something's wrong. Oh, here's the books. Check it out.
Yeah.
Well, how'd you do it?
Well, I thought you were dumbing the books up. Yeah.
I know. I just was playing well. You guys said team, so I'm working around team building with all these guys. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, when we own restaurants, we caught managers because managers' salaries and their bonuses were tied to their food cost.
Exactly.
And their labor cost, and so they would cheat. They would put stuff back or hold it up or whatever for the month after inventory stuff. So you catch them all the time. So that's probably why they were like that.
Yeah, we were. That's another that's how I by them coming back through. I got good at doing that, like forensic accounting books, trying to figure out where somebody screwed up so I could be able to.
But it's also important to keep those costs down in the kitchen, because if you don't, it'll run you out of business. It won't take long.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of people don't think about when you look at, well, why is this dish $40?
Right.
And it's only this. Well, it had so many things that people had.
That's right.
This guy bought this fish at $14 a pound, and you want a half-pound cut, dude. It's gonna be that. After you want like your truffle and all this other stuff and your risotto, it's gonna end up to this,
Yeah. And restaurants that don't fix their food costs. Some people that are new in the restaurant business just kind of go out on a whim and say, okay, it's gonna be $19.95. Did you do your food costs? Did you work it up?
Oh yeah, you got to cost it.
But they don't. A lot of them don't do it, and I think it's more prevalent nowadays than it used to be. But used to, people would be what I call swag, a swinging ass guess.
Yeah,
and that'll shut you down quicker than anything.
Well, and we go back to like the '90s when Food Network kicked off. Man, it was the best and the worst thing that ever happened to the food industry. It was the best thing because it opened up our job pool a lot more.
It did.
It leveled the playing field on fairness between all chefs. Good, bad, or indifferent, the HR movement was some of the best stuff that ever happened to the kitchen, because it was basically when I started in, it was a drill sergeant mentality. You might as well have been going into the Marines.
Exactly right.
But now it's more of not necessarily Montessori style, but it's definitely a more educational. Everybody's trying to teach and help everybody get better. On the flip side of that, everybody that comes out of culinary school, a vast majority or a lot of new people, is what's causing some issues, is they all want to be the chef.
They all want to be the star.
Sometimes you got to pay your dues, man. You can't be the chef 5 years in. You got to do a little bit more and understand back to what you're saying about costing, because that's why you see all this turnover. It's because you're not doing that educational. You can cook great. Awesome. You're a great chef and you're a great cook. My mentor told me, Andrew, you're a great cook. You can cook. You're not a chef yet. It's like, well, chef, I don't understand what you mean. It's like, you don't understand the business side of it yet. It's like, once you get that business side of it, then you're a chef. Otherwise, you're just a really good cook.
Yeah.
And to this day, I only say I'm just a culinary professional.
Yeah. I tell everybody, there's cooks and there's chefs. There's a big difference.
Absolutely.
There's people that are there for a paycheck, and there's people that are there for passion, like passion. I tell everybody every week, everybody sits in that chair is passionate about something in the culinary field or the drink field, and you're very passionate about it. So when you left Riata and you went to Central Market, right, and then and then after Central Market, you opened up
Woodshed.
That's right.
That was you want to talk about a wild rodeo, man?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It was a wild rodeo. It was fun, man. That was I'd just say when we opened, I went 100 days without a day off. And Tim's like, well, Tim told me at like 90 days, he's like, dude, you need to take a day off. It's been 3 months. The restaurant's running good. I was like, Tim, man, I've done 90 straight. I want to do 100, see if I can do it. And I did it. And he's like, all right, you're taking 3 days off. So it was kind of cool. It was a fun ride. Got to travel the country with him, man. There's some stories I could share off the air with some of the misadventures we had with some of the chefs when we were at parties and stuff. But
I bet. Now, everything at Woodshed is smoked.
Yes, sir. A lot of it is.
Including the dessert.
Yes, that was something we were playing around with. His pastry chef, when I was there, Sally, was playing around. Her and I were playing around with smoking chocolate, smoking flour, smoking butter. So we were trying to play around with that to see how we could influence the cookies and the pie crust and the dough. They were using brisket fat and smoked butter mix to do pie crust for a while. So we got pretty in-depth on it.
So you could smoke that stuff without actually smoking it. You smoke the ingredients.
Yes.
And then make it so it tasted smoked.
Yes.
Okay. You couldn't smoke it a whole lot, though, or smoke would be too prevalent, right?
You couldn't smoke. So you could smoke it. You can smoke the chocolate as much as you want.
Cold smoke it?
Yes. You just got to watch the temp on it.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just going to...
Is chocolate like a sponge? It just soaks up the heat? Does it soak
Well,
up
no. It's because it's got a low melting point. That's what's going to cause the issues. So if you take it above a certain point, it's just going to melt in the pan, and then
you're done.
You don't have chips. You just got a smoked chocolate bar.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of trial and error on that for us. And then with doing the flour, we had to almost wet the flour because we found when we smoked it at a certain point, it would dry out. So you're losing the moisture content which changes how it bakes. So you need a little bit of moisture in that flour, hydration in the flour. So you got to spritz that flour and toss it, and it helps. Otherwise, and then you got to control the temp, because at some point you're going to start toasting that flour and it's going to taste.
Yeah, once you take the moisture out, stuff isn't going to rise and bake properly, right?
Yeah, and it's going to taste like it's baked when it's not baked.
Okay.
You're going to bake the flour before it's baked. So
the flavor profile would be totally different.
Oh yeah.
That'd be crazy. So what was the most fun thing you did at Woodshed? The most fun dish or the most thing y'all created over there?
The most fun I ever had was when we were doing the whole animals. That's what I learned the most from.
Whole animals.
So like when we roast the whole pigs, whole deer, whole everything. Roasting those whole animals was really great. I enjoyed it because now I can go to like the Fossil Rim animal preserve out there and say, I've eaten that axis, I've eaten that animal. I didn't eat the zebra or the giraffe. I went there with my daughters when they were 11 and 9, and my wife was in the passenger seat. We're riding around, and she's like, Andrew, why are you so quiet? It's like, man, it's kind of somber to see all these animals I've eaten in actual life.
You know, sometimes you might want to eat a zebra. I had a zebra in there, and I have a friend that had some zebras. They are mean as hell.
Well, it's not a horse, but it's still a wild.
It's a cross, and I think they're mad about it. I don't know. I do. Anyway, so you went out there. That was cool. So you still all smoke. What all did y'all smoke whole? You smoked pigs?
Pigs, goats, lamb.
Now,
three or four different kinds of deer.
What was your favorite animal smoked?
Axis.
Axis. It's good. It's very good. Yeah.
Or Sika deer. That was hard to get a hold of. And
Sika deer?
Yeah, it's a Japanese deer. It's a very shy deer. Like lays down in the grass when it's so. You know, like whitetail stands up when it's grazing or resting. You know, for the most part, it'll stand up when it gets startled. Sika lay down when they.
Oh, they're more relaxed, I guess.
No, that's their natural. They hide in the tall grass.
Okay.
And so it's hard to hunt them and find them.
Ah.
So if you startle them, they go to the ground. Whereas that's their flight or fight response. So with like a whitetail, it's going to take off running, man. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. So how do you feel about lamb?
I don't like commodity lamb. So like lamb that you'd get on an open market. I prefer
gamey. It's always gamey, right?
Yeah, it's because of the feed.
Yeah.
You can definitely, and it got a certain smell to it.
You know what? We raise beef at our ranch, and we experiment with a lot of different feeds, and there's some. Our meat's always better to me grass fed, because if we feed any kind of protein or a cake or any supplements to the cattle to make them better or shiny, whatever, it changes the flavor profile dramatically. The meat, unless you take them off all that for 3 to 6 months and feed them corn or something like that, and that still changes the flavor. But if they're just purely on the grass and nothing else, it's a whole different profile that I like.
Yeah, and we saw that we just took a recent trip up to Montana to check out a couple of ranches, see Montana, check out a couple of ranches up there. Worked on a bison ranch up there. That was fun. And he was saying the same thing. Like he feeds his on grass.
Yeah.
And they do that flood irrigation up there on the plains where they're damming the creeks and the springs, and then it's flooding down, and you see the buffalo walk up, eat that sweet grass. And it definitely tastes different than any buffalo I've ever had.
Yeah. It's not as harsh. It's more of a sweet bite. Yeah.
And then the fat is like crisp white. Yeah. It looks like snow. It's so beautiful.
I love buffalo, actually. I think it's very good.
Yeah.
These guys over here making a buffalo chili at this place, boy, it's delicious. I just love it. Yeah. So you did that. So when you left Woodshed, where'd you go from there?
That's when I opened up Barter. Or no, I went and did a brief stint at the Jewel.
That's right, in Dallas.
In Dallas, I helped close down Charlie Palmer and part of the development team on CBD provisions, but left before CBD provisions opened up Barter.
They're still there. CBD is still there.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you, Andrew, you're really talented and you're very passionate about what you do, but you just like to change and do new experiences, because you'll try anything. You'll go anywhere and try new menus, do whatever. Is it just something you enjoy doing?
I do it because I never want to stop learning.
Okay.
I never think I'm too good not to do anything or learn. So part of me now, you're right. I'll try anything and I'll do anything, and I'll fly to halfway around the world to teach somebody how to do barbecue.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute too.
Yeah. But I just want to, always stop learning because sitting here with you, I'll learn more about something that I didn't know, ranching.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about it. I know enough to be dangerous, but I could talk to you for 2 hours and learn enough to where I could be a little less dangerous to everybody.
Right. Exactly right.
And I always believe no matter whatever job I take, I'm going to learn something from it and learn a different perspective that'll help me grow as a career. And then me, hopefully one day down the road, be able to mentor and advise other young cooks or chefs on how to, so they don't make this step in the same cow patties that I did.
Right. And everything I've seen you, everything I've watched you do over the past 10, 15 years on social media and stuff, it's always a big change. It's not like you're going from making a hamburger to making a gourmet burger. I mean, you make big changes, different food profiles, different dishes, creations. It's really neat.
I like to push myself. I like to, it keeps me thinking. It keeps me it keeps me not getting lazy, and it keeps me, that's just the way my brain works, man.
Well, you're passionate and you want to learn about it. So that's what makes it a big deal for you. So let's talk about your stint now. Well, you were there, you did that, and we'll come back to your career. Let's talk about you when I messaged you. I said something about I wanted you to be in this. I don't remember what it was. It had to be some event or contest or cook-off we were doing.
Oh, it was a burger cook-off.
Something, and you said, no, this was, you said, I can't, I'm going to be in Beijing or somewhere. I don't remember what you were, you flew to, you spent 4 months in Beijing?
I was total 3 months.
3 months.
Over a course of 2 years, work with Jing'e Brewery out there in Beijing. It's a couple of, it's a Canadian and a U.S. citizen that opened up a brewery over there.
Right.
There's a couple buddies, expats that went over there and decided to open up.
A Canadian U.S. citizen.
A Canadian and a U.S. citizen.
Went to Beijing and opened up a brewery.
Yeah.
And you went over and taught everybody how to do barbecue.
Yes.
Now, American barbecue or Texas barbecue?
Texas barbecue. We designed and built a offset smoker over there.
Is there anybody else in Beijing doing Texas barbecue?
The short answer is yes, but not on the level we're doing it.
Okay. I figured so if you taught them. So that's really cool. So you built an offset smoker there.
Yes.
You had somebody build it for you. They built it on site.
They built it. They had one of their metal shop guys build it that did all the brewery equipment.
Oh, cool.
Welded it up. We're smoking on apple and cherry right now because it's all over. It's like us with post oak.
Right. Yeah.
And hickory. It's all over. We're going to smoke with it, right?
Everything's expensive. Is that expensive or is it okay for them to get easy for them to get and cheap?
Cherry and apple are cheap.
Okay.
That's why we go with it. And it's more sticking to that tradition of barbecue, man. It's what you have.
Sure.
And that's what I've always pushed on them is
geographical.
Don't try to do Texas. I'll teach you Texas style.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost you too much unless you want to import that post oak. And
can you imagine what that would cost? Good Lord.
Well, we looked at it, man. And I don't want to even talk about it.
I bet it was expensive. Well, it goes by weight.
Exactly. So you're just paying for the weight.
Oh my God, that's crazy. So the great thing is barbecue is very regional.
It is.
And sometimes it can be regionalized into just one half of one city. Some people over in Oak Cliff could different barbecues than people out in North Fort Worth. It's that regional.
It's influenced by what's around. That's the great thing about barbecue. And it's like barbecue is Texas. I always say barbecue is Texas version of soul food.
Right. It is. That's a good example. It is. And I love soul food. I love all food. What am I talking about? So how did the barbecue taste when they did it with cherry wood? Was it a little sweeter?
It's got a little sweeter, so we countered that with just our rub blend. So we were playing around with that's the rub blend and the meat were not the hardest thing to figure out. There's two things that were super hard to figure out in Beijing, and you'll probably never figure out, never guess what they were.
Tell me about that.
Mac and cheese and cornbread.
Why? Ingredients?
Yeah. You know how hard it is to find Velveeta in a communist country?
Did you have any problem over there? I mean, 3 months would be a long time living in a place like that.
I was there a month, came back for like a month or two.
Still, it's a long time. Yeah. So how could you, a month's not a very long time, but were they already prepped and ready for you when you got there? I mean.
Yes. So when I was there for the month, that was my longest extent there.
Okay.
Every other trip was like a week or two. But when I went there for a month, it was that month opening time. We were opening the restaurant, rolling it out. So I was really focused on that for the most part.
Did you create the rubs and stuff here and send them over there then, or did you create them all over there?
We created them all over there. I wanted it to be true to what was available there.
Okay. So I guess 'cause if you create it here, they wouldn't be able to get the same ingredients. They'd go nuts.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. So what's in a rub? What would be what's a major difference in a rub there versus a rub here?
Not a whole lot. I just went more chili heavy. I normally don't put chili powder in my rubs. It's usually black pepper, salt, and a little secret ingredient.
Yeah.
So that's what I usually use. Over there, I couldn't get that secret ingredient, so I kind of backworked it and just added just a little bit more chili powder and a little other spice in there.
And what is their big beef's not as plentiful over there, is it?
It comes from Australia right now. U.S. beef, because of current tariffs, is a little bit harder to get.
Right.
But when they can get it, they like to use that. But it's mostly Australian or New Zealand beef.
And what's the big thing? Are ribs big or brisket or what's the
brisket's so there's a lot of education when we did it, because when they look at it, when you look at a brisket,
right,
it looks burnt, right?
Yeah.
That was everybody's initial comment.
Right.
All the brewery workers, all the cooks, all the front of the house staff, this is burnt. It's not going to taste good.
It's like, bark. It's bark, baby.
Exactly. But I cut into it and handed them a piece of, fatty brisket. Like, oh, never mind. I want more.
Yeah.
I mean, they would. Yeah. And then we did the big old dino ribs, right?
Right. Oh, the big beef ribs?
Yeah, we did those over there, and we're doing them by order, and all the, they had to pre-order them.
Right.
Because everybody liked it. But when we were going through menu testing, you'd see the whole brewery staff, when I was walking those up to taste test, they were like, it's like vultures on a carcass, man. They were like attacking. I was like, no, I need to get a picture, man.
That's funny. That's like whenever I do work for, and I do all my stuff for Channel 4 over there, they are like, I bring all the food over there. They're like vultures, man. As soon as the segment's over and you're done filming everything, man, whew, you can't. There's to have a room you put it in for them to eat, but it doesn't ever make it there. I mean, it's just like. That's funny.
They show up with to-go boxes, packing it up, and taking it back to cubicles.
Yeah. So did you take a bunch of pictures when you're over there?
Yeah, they're all on my social media.
Oh, cool. So somebody will see those pictures. They're on your is it
Andrew_Dilda?
Okay.
On Instagram.
Okay, everything's on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I was wondering because you're on Facebook, but you don't do stuff on Facebook.
I cross post, so you can check me out on Facebook too. My profile's not private.
Okay.
Go in there, check it out. Same thing with the Instagram. It's not private. You can go in there and check them all out.
Okay. So what was your favorite thing to do in Beijing? When you weren't at the brewery, or were you at the brewery the whole time?
A lot of nights started at the brewery, but a lot of nights ended in the hutongs, which are like this old feudal lord estates. So it's like the cattle baron estates like we have in downtown Fort Worth, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they had, and when Mao came through and redistributed the wealth, turned all these feudal estates into housing. Well, now they're little bars and noodle shops. So we just ride around in there, go get a beer, go have some noodles, go have some dim sum at 1 a.m.
I bet dim sum's good over there.
Man, we'd go get duck. It's just like, that's what we did every night.
Yeah.
And like I told you, it was maybe 6 of us sitting there. We could have a feast fit for kings. Everybody, we would leave stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me this. $5.
I did eat all 5 meals for $5 for that day.
5 meals, $5. You need some of that, don't you?
And it was eating like the steam bun, like the bao, noodle, just everything. Like I can't even remember all the stuff we ate. But you could go there, you and I could sit there, order everything on the menu, and it maybe cost us $30 US.
Man.
And we feel like kings, and we hate ourselves in the morning because we ate so much. And that's even with us drinking liter of cheap beer.
Yeah. Well, most of their stuff over there, almost everything is super fresh that they make.
Oh,
even the little food carts are all super fresh.
Absolutely.
So the food's not nearly as bad for you either. It's not like
I like to think it's not, but it probably is.
It probably is. I'm gonna tell myself.
I'm gonna tell myself that, and going back to like
sake.
No, it's not sake. It's called baijiu over there.
Baijiu.
So it's a distilled spirit that comes out of like a mud. They ferment it in a mud pit, and it's fermented very similar to sake, but they take in the liquid that purges off that, distill it.
Okay, wait, back up now. They put it in a mud pit. Explain this to me real quick.
It's just a pit in the ground. I don't really understand.
An actual pit in the ground?
I don't understand the process. It's like a clay pit. I haven't dove too much into it, but that stuff I call it just Chinese moonshine, man. All I can do is like one shot of it, but you're supposed to they pull out bottles that are like half liter, 500 milliliters. Like they don't have handles of it like we would with Jack.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to drink because the thing is when you open a bottle of baijiu, you have to finish it.
But because it'll be bad.
It's just tradition.
Okay. Oh.
So like you see guys with like glasses like this or bottles the size of this glass.
Right.
But all the glasses you drink out of are like what we'd consider like a half shot glass, right?
Okay.
So you're sitting there sipping it, and then
Is it good? Flavorful?
It's kind of got like a. You ever have like plum moonshine?
Yeah.
You know, where it's a little sweet, like or like plum brandy moonshine.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that little sweet character and smoky character.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. It's got
so it's palatable.
It's palatable. The only thing that's not palatable is sometimes the hangover the next day.
So if you drink, so it's very strong, obviously.
Yes.
So if you drink a bottle like that, you're going to get drunk.
If you drank a bottle like this, like the size of our glass, like you're going to get drunk. Like I usually just do like this much, and it's like 0 to 100.
Are you serious? That fast?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny. So, but do they have regular whiskey and stuff over there?
Yeah, you can get U.S. whiskeys over there, and you can get bourbons.
Are they extravagantly more than what they have there?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if you get Bullet over there, it's going to be expensive, and it's all anything import is all. You can get it. It's just how much you're going to pay for it.
Right.
So, like getting Velveeta, that
that just blows my mind. Velveeta's you could get in a damn 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
here.
you think about you making I was like, I need Jiffy cornbread mix. I'd rode all over the city of Beijing.
What you said rode? Were you on a bicycle?
Yeah, I did 100 kilometers in a week.
On a bicycle?
Yes.
On one of those really nice bicycles?
No, share bike, man.
Oh, share bike.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Remember those yellow atrocities that used to be in downtown Dallas? Yeah, that's what I rode.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure first of all, the drivers over there are crazy. I have Beijing. I have not been yet. It's one place I've not been, and I see all the videos of drivers. They're crazy. The cars.
Actually, they're very safe over there because if they hit you, they lose their license. So they always say, my buddy told me if they hit you, even if they tap you, just fall to the ground. Because they're going to be super, and there's going to, because you're American, they're just going to start throwing money. I was like, no, dude, I'm just not going to get hit. How about we go that way?
They're going to start throwing money at you. That's funny. You could have made a living over there just getting hit and falling over.
I don't want to try that living. There's easier ways to make $1.
That's really funny. That's funny. So you done that. You came back. You were at, what was the place that I liked over in Deep Elm you were at for a while?
Independent.
I liked that place. And of course it's gone now.
Yes, sir.
But they had a lot of really cool dishes over there, which I really liked. You said that's been changed.
Yes, sir.
So you went from independent. Where'd you go after independent?
I started doing the consulting.
That's right.
And then I was at Clay Pigeon for a hot minute. And then then I was at Cane Rosso for a hot minute. And then I just decided to.
They've got good food.
Yes, sir.
They got really good food. They got good pizza. Is everything made fresh there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So now you're doing
Fort Supply.
Fort Supply.
Yes, sir.
Which is a neat concept. Tell me a little about the concept and how you got it started.
It started with my buddy, our business partner, Don Canada. He was the easy way to say it is he got mad at jerky and the way it was, and then he ran into a jerky production problem. And a mutual friend of ours said, "Hey, you need to talk to Andrew. He can help you sort this out. He's got a smoker. He's got the 16-foot smoker in his backyard. You can do hundreds of pounds in it if you want it." So he and I met that way. But then as we started talking, we found out that we had this unique source of protein. I was like, Canada, man, why don't we just focus on doing the bison, elk, and wagyu that we can get from this unique source? Let's really blow this up and make it really something special and bring it to these people.
So you're doing bison,
elk.
You're concentrating on bison, elk,
and wagyu.
Currently, wagyu is some good stuff, man.
Yeah, we're getting the stuff, if you're familiar with the BMS score, which is the beef marbling score. So prime is about 7-8. Our stuff's coming in about 8 to 9. Some of it hits 10, but that's like our prime. So it's even better marbling than what you get on prime.
Yeah.
And our low grade stuff is like that, better than prime.
For people that listen and don't understand, marbling's what has all the flavor.
Yeah, it's that intermuscular fat. Like when you look at it and you see all those little flakes inside the muscle, that's the marbling.
That's the marbling. What's funny is when I see people get these steaks or even barbecue, they want to cut all the fat off and it's like just one little piece of meat. I'm like, oh man,
that's a good barbecue. Yeah, you got to stay on that, man.
That's the flavor.
Yeah. And so we've been focusing on that. And the main reason why we're only focusing on those 3 is because I could go broader, but I want to have that relationship with the rancher. So like if you were the rancher I knew, I want to be able to call you up and go, Trey, hey man, what do you got good? What cattle, how's the cow looking tonight? How's the bison doing? You tell me how your herd is. Hey, Andrew, well, I've got this and this. Like, we need to push more of this. Let's see, I'm really seeing good movement. I like the way these are looking, so we can really focus so we're helping the rancher out in that way, and helping not stress the herds, but grow the herds a smart way.
Sure.
Instead of just me coming to you, hey, Trey, I need 20,000 pounds of Wagyu tomorrow. What are you going to do? You're going to freak out and start trying to pull it from everywhere, and it messes up our consistency of product.
Sure, and it's all not going to be the same either.
No, it's going to be you're going to have a spectrum as wide as this table.
Yep.
What you really want to see and what the customer wants to see is a narrow spectrum that we can control better. It's easier for you to say, Andrew, I can only produce 5,000 pounds this year or this month. Is that cool with you? Yeah, we'll just build a market that way. Yeah. It's like we run it like a barbecue style. Right. Run till you're done, man.
Run till you're done. That's right.
And then
sold out.
And then focus on seasonality, because you touched on it with the grass,
right?
And the flavor of how the beef is,
right?
So we're really trying to build a seasonality around it.
See, people don't even understand. It's so funny. I can put cattle on coastal grass, blue stem grass, Bermuda grass, and it's the beef. Everything changes the flavor of the beef. It is crazy the difference you can get just out of small. It's small changes you can make, but it changes the flavor dramatically.
So, and then what you just hit it, man, because those grasses grow at different times of year, and it produces a different flavor profile.
Right.
And we really want to focus on highlighting that. That's just taking beef.
Sure.
And then when you look at the bison, you can do the same thing. Elk is great no matter what time of year, but we're trying to find the perfect seasonal to that. And then as we get into that, we're going to start we're going to roll into maybe boar, roll into some quail, trying to roll up into upland game birds. We're really focusing on that 3 right now, just to keep our niche narrow and really driving at that.
That's neat. And you're selling to restaurants?
Restaurants, yeah. We do wholesale, and then we have some spillover into the retail market from us. But we're just talked to Roy Pope, and we're probably going to have a small presence there out the gate. And
I told you I love Roy Pope.
Yeah.
I think they are the friendliest grocery store.
They are
in Dallas-Fort Worth. I mean, they're the nicest. Roy Popes. Everybody looked at Roy Popes. They are down home, cozy, and I love down home. I love cozy, and I love great service. And they have all 3 of those mastered there.
Yeah, and they were the first to do the at-home delivery.
Yeah, you and I were talking about that. Well, I was a kid. My dad would order stuff in the late 70s, early 80s, and I would be like, what? You call up there on the phone back then, and you roll dial the phone. They'd take the order, they'd hand pick it, put it in their Roy Post van, and bring it to you. They were doing that way before Amazon or anybody else was.
Yeah, and that was what really appealed to us, is if we were going to do the retail market, we wanted to be able to service it like that and be able to have that personable experience. We wanted a relationship-based business. That's the way we work, and I'm not going to mail you out a price list. I'm going to come to your door and, hey, man, hey, Trey, this is what I got this week, man. You interested or not?
Yeah.
And instead of sending you out a price list and hope the hell you get back, that's transactional.
Yeah, that's right. And, I think, especially now, and I tell everybody, know your farmer, know your rancher. It's a big thing. And I can go on Roy Pope's. I can walk down any aisle on Roy Pope's, whether it's an item in a glass, item in a can, item in the vegetable or meat department, and they can tell me where every single thing came from and who it came from.
Yes, and that's what we wanted, and that's what we liked. I met the Larry once. Larry that works behind the meat counter.
Right. I like him. He's a good guy.
The market manager. He's been there for a long time.
20 years at least.
And I met him once, and he's like, all right. And he remembered me right away. And that's when we knew this was the right fit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I love their hamburgers. They make my hamburger list every year. They press their meat together and grind it, and they make great hamburgers. It's just that they're an old looking building, and they're an kind of old school people, which is what I like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when I'm doing something like that, cooking or picking something that I want to be really fresh. That's the kind of thing I want.
I like their hot cake. Like, that is my favorite one. That is a secret. That is a Fort Worth hidden secret, is their lunch counter, where they do the chicken fried steak that they cube themselves, bread it, their mashed potatoes made from fresh, like all that. I like the canned green beans. I'm gonna admit it, with the bacon.
Yeah,
like that's you know what I'm talking about, in the hot well, and then they got the mac and cheese.
Yeah,
like that's a Fort Worth. That's a hidden gem, and you can eat really nice, for a decent for $10,
and it's always fresh.
It's always.
And if you want something, they'll make it and cook it for you right there too. Yeah. It's a neat deal.
And their burger, like you said, the burgers, man, they had the bison burger. They have a.
So the other day, I'm not going to name it. I was at a grocery store. I'm not going to name a grocery store, but I was walking around and I was poking my girlfriend Jen. I said, "Hey, look at that! Look at that fish! Look at that stuff! Look how old that looks." And it may have only been 2 or 3 days old, but that's something. You go to Roy Pope's and you go in that meat market, you won't ever see that.
No.
Everything looks like it just come off the cow or just out of the water.
Well, they take that care.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if they've got steaks, they don't have them sitting out. They've taken the time to wrap them or whatever.
Or they hand cut them for you.
Exactly. It's not just like we're going to cut 30 of them.
Yeah.
No, they got that whole primal, that whole ribeye primal there, and they'll cut you off the size you want. That's what's nice.
The thickness, everything is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's just and funny is people who have shopped there for long periods of time, it can't shop anywhere else. They get frustrated because they get such great service and they get whatever they want at Roy Pope's. It's not a big store, but they have everything you need.
Yeah.
I have some people that go in there. I tell them they'll go in there and think, man, that was expensive. I said, what'd you get though? I guarantee you what you got was worth the money.
Oh yeah, and you're supporting a local business. That's the big deal.
Are. That's the big thing to me. Support local. Know your farmer and know your rancher.
Yeah, and even to go to restaurants, man, support these local restaurants.
Yeah, you're right. Support local chefs. I say that all the time. So you're doing a Fort Supply, and you're officing here in Fort Worth or the new side of Fort Worth.
Yes.
And you're going to take care of restaurants all over Dallas Fort Worth.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to just supply, because I know you asked me about an event we were doing.
Yeah.
You're going to supply. Is there anything else you're going to supply besides that? You're like you said, you're going to kind of grow with.
We're going to grow as we form the right partnerships.
Got you.
And it's the knowing the farmer, knowing the rancher, knowing all that. And I want to be what Canada and I pride ourselves on is we want to go to the ranch. I want to work the ranch. We want to know where it comes from. We want to see it. We want to see how it works. How you guys. Like,
you got to tell a story, baby.
Yeah,
you got to tell a story.
You know, and then we're also talking about, you know, as we grow, as we scale this, from an entrepreneur standpoint, what better way to qualify your employees, man? If you can't go out there and you can't go out there and handle feeding the cow and, you know, fixing irrigation problems, you're not really down to be part of our team. If you're not down to put in the basic work, you're not down to be part of the team.
Yeah.
And that's how we're qualified. That's your stage that you're thinking about on the kitchen side. You got to go know your farmer. You
know what's funny is that people see you post stuff because go to the ranch and see, oh, I want a ranch. I said, oh yeah, everybody wants to be a rancher till it's time to do real ranching shit, and then they don't want to do it. You know what I mean? That's just seriously the way.
Yeah.
I mean, you might work a 14, 15-hour day, dust, can't breathe. You know, you get smashed by cows, but I mean, it's just I love doing it.
Yeah.
And I love knowing every aspect. And I kept, you know, we had our own meat company. And we had but been ranching for 160 years. And I could never figure out, before I was always involved in ranching, but not to the point I've been in the last 20 years. I got more hands-on when we sold our restaurants. So I wanted to figure out what changed the flavor profiles of beef. And I didn't go to college for that. I didn't go to ranching school for that. So I tested the water with different proteins, different cakes, different stuff, different grass. And that's how I learned all that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, if you can, go for it. And that's what's really interesting. And that's what drives what we're trying to do. And, you know, we're talking about the regionality. You were talking about different grass.
Yeah.
Broad spectrum goal would be to almost create a regionality of beef. You know, maybe upper Midwest beef tastes different than
it does. It does.
And then
different grass.
Highlight it.
Yeah.
Take it like wine. Make it a regionality like that.
Yeah.
So then beef is the same way pork is. You think about how different regions of pork taste different. You know, everybody. There's much to do about Iberico.
How come when they cook pork and they leave that skin on there and they make that skin all crunchy? Why does that just drive me crazy? My God. I watched this video 3 times the other day. The guy at Wrangel's Barbecue chopping that. Oh, my God. I was just salivating watching it on the screen.
Oh, man. They were at Smoke, and that was some of the best.
Yeah.
Chicharron, crunchy. Yeah. Oh, man. It was so good.
Grady makes fresh chicharrones, too, and they're delicious, man. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Grady. Oh, Shady Grady.
The Beto and Son over in Trinity Groves makes, they have fresh chicharrones with their white queso and yellow queso. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something. When it's right out of the fryer fresh, and it's popping, it's still popping when it comes to table. It's
like pop rocks hitting you, man.
It's tantalizing. I mean, it's just sexiness.
It's like that. It's like the fajitas when you go to wherever.
Yeah.
When you get that hot plate that's sizzling, you go to Uncle Julio's, and it's like smoking and sizzling and all that. It's that same deal, man. It's that show.
Yeah, presentation.
Yes.
Eat with your eyes.
Yeah. And a little bit of fear, you might not get hit by that grease or something. You know?
At some point, I don't care. I just want to eat. Yeah. So are you going to be doing any more? Are you going to do events and stuff?
I do I'm doing a few pop-ups. Probably going to be doing some more with Franken Kitchen again.
Right. So real quick, so we got 5 minutes, but I'll tell everybody about your pop-ups because your pop-ups are always fantastic. Like what are some pop-ups you're going to do? What's something you've done in the past?
I don't have any on the books right now, but it's been mostly barbecue centric and kind of
Beef.
worldly spins on barbecue and street food and keep it easy breezy. Because I don't like the fuss with it. I want that interface. I want you guys to be able to eat something and enjoy it, get a quick bite. Because wherever we do them at breweries or something.
Yeah, you said street food. Did you bring any one dish back, any kind of from Beijing that you've cooked over here?
Oh yeah, the noodles and schwar, which is basically Chinese version of yakitori.
Noodles and schwar?
Schwar, yeah.
Schwar.
Yeah.
And what is that?
It's like a yakitori, but it's garlic, paprika, and cumin based seasoning.
I bet that's good.
And it's just grilled over the same yakitori grill, like the yakitori bamboo box, bamboo coal box.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Simplicity sometimes is the best flavor.
Yeah. You take a great cut of meat, take some good seasoning, and you cook it right. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I can't go wrong, man. I eat a bunch of that. So that's your deal. So what do you think your next pop-up will be? Like what kind of you do?
I don't know, man. I'll just see how it plays out after coming back from China and next couple weeks.
What are you going to China?
Going to China again on the 17th. I'm there for a beer festival and going back to check up on barbecue, man.
My little worldly chef. We're going to call you Bourdain. The traveling chef. How think you'll be in China?
I'll be there for almost 10 days.
Yeah.
And
is your wife going with you?
She's going with me this time for our anniversary.
Oh, that's right. Your anniversary. That's right.
Yeah. So we'll be out there and checking it out. The hard part's going to be the first two, fighting through that beer festival, man. It's going to be hard.
Well, plus the travel time.
It's a direct. It's only like 13, 14 hours.
Okay.
So you get a nice sleep and like 8 meals on the plane. So it's good.
Yeah, but you're gonna be in the rear, right? The time change did that screw you up a little bit on your sleep?
No. My trick is I just so I focus on I start working out like a month out.
Okay.
So I start doing a lot of cardio. Start riding like 5 miles for the first week, 10 miles the second week, so that I build up. It helps me with that sleep deprivation.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And then I start adjusting my diet in my eating schedule, and it kind of just helps transition.
Oh, that's neat.
So it's almost like training for an Ironman, but
got it all. You're just training for China.
But as soon as I land, I'm ready to go. It's not like I don't have any jet lag or anything.
Yeah, cool. So if somebody wants to get to hold of you, look at your business. You got a website? Yeah, you all have a website.
Yes, we have fortsupply.co. So it's .co, not .com. And then we also have fortbutcher.com.
Fortbutcher.com.
Yes.
And
fortsupply.co.
.co?
Yeah, CO.
Okay, I guess they're all out of comp, so now you're using co.
Well, no, it just looks cool.
Oh, it just looks cool. Yeah.
Like for Fort Supply Company, so it's like fortsupply.co.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And if they want to see your social media again, Andrew
_Dilda, and then Andrew Dilda on Facebook. That's also Instagram. And if you guys want to order anything, that's also a way you can get in touch with me. Send me a direct message, Facebook message, whatever.
That's cool. You take care of all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then if you're trying to get a hold of us again, as in all of our stuff we did this week, it's TreyChapman.com. I know it's all over the screen. I like to tell everybody it's Trey spelled with an E because all the cool kids are spelled with an E, not an A.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
It works.
Same with me, man. All the cool kids using Dilda with an A.
That's right. That's right. My girlfriend always gets up and goes, "Oh, Trey, you're so sexy." Isn't that what you say? No. Anyway, yeah. So TreyChapman.com. We have all of our videos on there. We've got Trey Chapman Live on there. All our segments are on there. We have all our new Chow blogs again, articles this week. National Taco Day is today. Please go on there and look at the the best tacos in North Texas. And then we did best breakfast this morning for ABC Daybreak, which was a year and a half in the making. The top 20 best breakfast spots in North Texas, all the way from McKinney, all the way out to Willow Park. Even got a little place up in Denton. Decatur, I didn't make it up there. In Denton, and McKinney, there's a real cool place on the square called Snug on the Square. It's like an old retail store, and you can even sit in the window, like the old retail window.
Oh, yeah. And
look out over the square. It's really cool. I really liked it. And Maple Leaf over in Dallas, they have a dish that was featured on Paula Deen. It's a chicken and waffle dish. I mean, it's about this tall.
Jesus Christ.
It's this tall, and the chicken is fried. It's absolutely delicious. But we really thank y'all for watching, listening, and tune in next week. We're going to have a great show. We've got great shows all the way till the end of the year now in our new studio.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got my name all over it. I like that.
You're no shy on branding, that's for sure.
No, I'm not shy on branding. I like me. I like me.
You're like Terrell Owens. I love me some me.
That's right. Even my dog says, all right, Trey, that's enough. See y'all next week. Appreciate it.